Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Yep.
Brandon Jones.
Yeah.
And Ian Hink on the switcher.
Whoa.
Somebody help that man.
I couldn't see you. Was that like excited or scared?
I'm not even sure.
Okay.
It's late, man.
It sounded like a song.
Yeah, we're starting late.
Starting a little late.
Doing some business.
Was it apparent I couldn't decide between everybody and everyone instead of the word? It's like a halfway in between word.
Yes.
Yeah, that was apparent?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Not to me. I almost said, you want to do another take?
It was like, which word? Which one? Which? I couldn't decide.
Everyone.
It is time for Recruit Me. We have to decide if this person will join our party or not. The submission comes from Brian Cause.
Has Ben been on one of these?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you've had this responsibility yet. Here we go. I am a snake with human arms.
Oof. Recruit.
The arms are too heavy for me to move.
Oh, no.
So I slowly drag them behind me.
No.
And finally,
You started so well.
I have a deadly poison in my fang that can paralyze even the strongest of creatures. But most of the time, I'm too tired to bite anyone because of the arms. My name is Slithering Steve Phillips. Would you have me join this party?
Do we go in order?
We don't have to.
Oh my gosh.
Blood doesn't seem prepared yet. So, Ben, what do you have? Do we recruit Slithering Steve Phillips?
Absolutely.
Why?
I love fixer-uppers.
This is a fixer-upper.
I love
for sure.
fixer-uppers.
Yep.
I think this is somebody that doesn't believe in themselves yet,
Yeah.
who's had to go through a weird life,
Yes.
but is a star. And I think with a little bit of training, get that experience up, we could help them find their full potential.
I think of Donnie in Fire Emblem Awakening.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
eventually this will be
Don't
the
write
best.
it off. Yeah.
Exactly. Jones?
I wasn't in until you said Donnie. Now I'm in 100%.
No, really, are you?
I think we can work with this.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, when some people have an issue and it's like, I'm cursed in this way and there's nothing you can do about that. Like,
Yes.
do you need those arms? Do you need them?
Oh, you want to cut off the snake arms?
I want to begin the discussion. That's what I'm saying. Okay?
Whoa.
All right?
I'm not cool with that.
Do you
Wait.
need that tooth in your mouth? Can we maybe, like, take that out?
We need the teeth.
And
We
it-
need
you
the
know.
tooth.
For the poison. The poison's the most
Yeah.
valuable part of this whole snake creature.
But does the poison doesn't work if the tooth is out of the mouth?
It will not, no.
Okay,
No.
it needs to be in the... Okay,
It's
can we
the
drain
poison
it?
delivery system.
Can we drain? Can we milk the tooth?
Can we put a pot on his head?
What?
Is that
See,
allowed?
these are all options. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we have to do these things or don't have to do them,
I mean,
but at least we're having a conversation
right,
about it.
right.
Whereas,
Cutting off the weird mutant arms is an option. The rest of it, I don't understand what the benefits are.
We're not cutting off his arms. We're
Don't cut off
figuring
his
it out.
well, you know, it's like when they drain venom from snakes. They'll have the snake bite
Yeah.
onto a bottle or
What you
something.
do
and
is
then-
you build trust and get him to allow you to swing him like a poisonous rope or
Yes.
a mace, and then you just have him bear the tooth and you implant him into a guy.
Drag
I
him-
feel
drag
like
him in a
that.
cart.
I think like Huber has been rubbing off on you.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is.
I want to be clear. This is not a snake. This is a conscious person who could potentially join our party and who could potentially be a romantic option.
Oh, right.
And we're
Dude.
talking about just swinging
You
him
gotta
around.
rub. You gotta
no,
rub the
no.
face. You gotta rub the face.
Kyle, I'm talking. It's like a consent thing. It's like when Gimli is like, "Toss me," you know. You
Yeah,
build.
yeah.
It's an emotional arc. You build up to it.
I'm legitimately in if we can put a pot
It's a
on his
Colossus
Okay.
Wolverine
Yeah.
situation.
I get it. I get it. All right, Blood. Do you want to recruit Steve Phillips?
Yeah, I think.
Ooh.
I think so.
It's unanimous.
I think we got to give it a shot.
I do
Slytherin
too.
Steve Phillips is part of the party. We'll see his fate at the end of the podcast.
Based on that response, I think he leads the whole thing.
party leader.
Slytherin Steve.
Jones, could you please begin the corrections music? Frieza is Vegeta's older brother. PS2 emulation is simpler than I gave it credit for.
Oh.
A lot of comments
Really?
said that. They said, like, yeah, it's pretty easy. Like, right now, there's a lot of really good PS2 emulation. So I wanted to give everybody credit for that. The person who, at EVO, who came out in G's clothes with G's gold tattoos is G's voice actor, Christopher Smith.
Very cool.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
That was
That's
the
good
voice actor of that character.
Is PS2 emulation easy enough to put it in the PS4?
End corrections music. No, the answer is no. I mean, there is an emulator that's running. It's okay. It's okay. Our news this week all happened in the 3 days after we finished recording our podcast last week. An exciting week last week.
It
On
was.
Wednesday, Yeah, that was Tuesday. No, that was Wednesday. Excuse me.
Yeah.
On Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday. Ding,
Wednesday,
ding,
Thursday,
ding.
Friday, we had the Smash Bros. Direct, 7 a.m. The day after that, 8 a.m., the Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay reveal. And then on Friday, the gameplay reveal of Doom Eternal. Boom, boom, boom. I want to talk about each of these things because I think even a week later, they're still really exciting. And I think it's kind of cool the way these things kind of go. It's cool to have just 3 individual events for things like that. Alone, I don't know if I would draw like any big headlines for any of these things, but I think together that they all occurred next to each other, that they all got the attention they deserved is something that is notable. But I want to talk about the Smash Direct firstly. Simon Belmont was the first thing revealed in this thing. This was a character who was widely rumored and then pretty much confirmed the night before.
Some leak happened. Where did that happen?
It was their own Smash website. You can go and listen to tracks that are new to the thing, musical tracks. Someone accidentally renamed one of the tracks to Castlevania, the title of 2 Castlevania tracks, and that really gave it away.
They
What is
did it
that?
to themselves.
I thought Nintendo like accidentally uploaded something to YouTube or something.
They accidentally changed a file name on their own Smash website,
Oh, okay.
and that was it. That was like enough to kind of confirm that Simon Belmont is real. What's up, Jones?
It's rough, you know. There's just so many moving pieces, so many things to.
It's rough. I don't think that reveal was ruined.
Oh no!
I think it was not ruined for
Yes.
a couple of reasons, but one main reason.
What's the main reason?
Richter is an Echo Fighter. Like,
Yes.
kind of.
Oh, I was gonna say Luigi was savagely
the
murdered.
Luigi.
Well,
before
that
our
was also
eyes.
very good. But that
I
was
think that almost resonated more than Simon being
did,
added
yes.
to the game.
like seeing Simon. I was like, oh man, I wish I didn't know about this. But Richter was kind of the, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this extra icing on top of the whole thing that really made it worth it to me.
Yeah, and a Castlevania stage.
Oh, that stage.
Basically, a strong commitment to Castlevania
Yeah.
being in this game.
Well, they said 34
Darkest
tracks,
stage in
right?
Smash
34
Brothers
musical
history.
tracks. Yes. What?
He said this is our darkest Smash Brothers stage
That was
ever.
confirmed? He said
He
darkest?
said that in the video.
Oh, okay, that's
Our
funny.
Darkest stage ever. I don't know what that means.
Jones, I
like,
thought you were making that statement.
thematically or just the color palette. I'm not sure
Right.
specifically what he was addressing. but-
Thematically, I feel like we could say that is the darkest
Oh, yeah.
stage. It's dark, man. The Castlevania enemies appear and you have to fight them off.
I mean, it's darker than a Castlevania game from that cutscene.
Sure, yes, because we did witness the death of Luigi. A really fun detail that a lot of people pointed out to me is that you never see Luigi again for the rest of that whole 25-minute
no,
presentation.
that's fantastic.
Never again.
The very end, right?
No.
It would be so
is it
great.
that just at the end of that trailer?
This would very much upset people, but like imagine Smash Ultimate comes out and it's every character but Luigi.
But
they
it's
just
grayed
stealth.
out.
Yes.
R.I.P. in the
Yeah.
corner of the,
Oh my god.
of the
There's,
square.
there's no way that we wouldn't be mad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, there's no way we would be mad. That'd be awesome. Right?
Oh man.
Commitment to the bit is
And
what
like
that is.
and like you click on it and you just hear Sakurai's voice. He just says, "Listen, I did it for me," and that's it. That's the only.
I did this for me.
Yeah, it's the only justification. you need.
It was a jam-packed presentation, almost a half hour long. So many more details beyond these characters. Oh, King K. Rool of Donkey Kong Country also announced as a playable character. It was so interesting. I was riveted for that 25, 28 minutes. I can't remember which. And again, just all hosted by Sakurai himself, the person directing and basically making this game.
With some
It's a
yellow and
blast.
purple chairs behind him.
Blood assumes this is another hint
I don't assume, but people have been talking about it.
of
But
Waluigi.
Or
Or at least a troll, you think?
It seems like too obvious to not be done on purpose. So whatever it is, like somebody intentionally put a yellow and purple chair behind Sakurai.
I don't know. I can't go there, Blood. I can't take that leap with you. Because I can, like, Luigi not being in the rest of Direct is not a coincidence. That's just a really funny commitment to a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if yellow and purple is a commitment to a bit.
How many people got yellow and purple chairs lying around though?
Good point, Ben. I have 0 purple chairs.
Right.
0 yellow chairs.
I'm not against it.
He's got one of both.
And they're right behind him.
Yeah, and basically, the whole presentation itself, meticulous. The way numbers are presented, the way that new moves are presented, new characters, new items, meticulous. Every shot perfect, every shot designed. To the point where I could believe that a yellow and purple would be intentional. But Jones, what do you take away from a presentation like this. So
Well,
unique.
I had an interesting question on Cup of Jones where someone said, what other franchise should get the Smash treatment?
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything. Like maybe like Madden or FIFA, but it's like to me it's because they're annual, and so it's the kind of thing where it's like the devil is in the details. Like this might look like the same game. I need to know specifically. You can turn this on and off. You know, our audience clipped out you just talking about there's no Smash Ball anymore that you can change
the
it.
option.
You have the
Yes.
option to
Yes.
switch it so that you don't have to hunt for this ball flying around. That you actually just build that up. So you got supers going off all over the place, and you were so excited. Your hands jumped up in the air. Like, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and so like I think it was the kind of presentation where they treated everything with the same amount of reverence because they don't know what's going to be your favorite thing that we're adding. Like you might not care about Donkey Kong, you might not be a big Castlevania fan, so the beginning and the end aren't really for you. It's kind of maybe one of these little beats in the middle there, focusing on these other characters, seeing
Where you have 900 music tracks.
yeah.
Where you just turn
Yes.
the
Oh, but
even
screen
the-
up.
the way the
list where it
bars
goes up and
go
the
up.
numbers being squished, blast through there, or even him specifically saying 800. Well, I mean 900 if you really want to get technical about it. And
The
I just
little
think
like
it's this-
self-aware comments are just like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah.
Were
But I think it's this
amazing.
strange confluence of like there are so many details in this game, there are so many tiny additions, but it is a game that at no point takes itself seriously ever. And I can't think of another game that has those two things. That isn't like annual, meaning we get them every year, but every time we do get a new Nintendo console, it's something that we know we're going to get. And so we just need those details, but they can have two characters staring at each other and goofy things happening and, you know, Diddy and Donkey's eyeballs flying out of the, you know, DDD trolling them, you know, giggling, you know, these weird bits. Like I cannot, for the life of me, I can't think of another franchise that could get away with that.
Mario Party.
But like Mario Party, we wouldn't care. You know, if
Right.
if they went a half hour on Mario Party, I'd be bored by
That'd
the
Yeah,
be
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
That'd be a
yeah,
lot.
and that is Jones. You're so right in that. Like think of even like a year ago if they did Mario Odyssey. Like let's do an half hour Mario Odyssey. It'd be spoilers. I wouldn't want to
Of
see
course.
these things. And so yeah, I think it being this fighting game that brings all these franchises, I feel like that is an asset to why this is interesting. Why they can hold a half hour. Yeah, I don't know what else could do.
So it's
what
crazy.
that
It's
did.
like this custom built campaign that they've perfected over the years and just, in my opinion, get better and better at.
Yeah.
But it's designed specifically for this franchise, and no one can really imitate it. And if they do, I think you know, in a lot of instances, they probably fall flat.
And Ben, I feel like no one could present this other than Sakurai. I
Yeah.
feel like no one else could design an explanation, design a half hour of explaining a game as well as he did.
Yeah, I think if you kind of stick with the announcement of Smash Bros. Ultimate, where it's like, hey, this is the ultimate version of Smash Bros. We're putting every character in here. Here you go. That would have been enough. They could have just come out with that with no other crazy stuff. They didn't need to put Simon Belmont in there. They didn't need to do these stages. They didn't need to go to this level, but they do. This ultimate version of this game feels like an event, and it feels exciting in a way that it totally did not need to go to this level to be extremely successful.
Yeah.
And I think that is what's most impressive is just like, think about Luigi dying and how funny that was and how that powered up the internet for days. Like the next Smash point that we get, I want to see what the story is going to be. That's an exciting thing to say.
Or even the graph paper level where you're charting how far people jump and how far you can throw them.
That's a whole
It's
other
like,
mode, dude.
I
Yeah.
am never going to use that. I don't know how that's going to help anybody become a better player at this game. I have no interest in that. Like that for me personally as a gamer is zero impact. And I'm just like, that's fascinating. You know, like
Yeah.
just the way they package it, how much time they spend explaining it, letting just you looking at it kind of introduce you to the concept. So it's not something somebody comes out on stage and explains it for 5 minutes and then shows it to you. You just kind of jump right into it. And so it's this constant, you know, seeing these new little beats. And for me, just as somebody who's always kind of sat outside of the Smash Brothers, I can appreciate it and understand its value, even if it doesn't really resonate directly with me.
So, Blood, I don't know if we should get into this, but we saw the main menu of Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah.
In the bottom left-hand corner, a huge chunk, a quarter of the main menu is a green button that was blurred out. There was a mosaic over it. There's a theory. Have you seen the theory of what that is?
that it's supposed to be Waluigi Sneak in Love.
Yes, well, not that theory.
Well played.
Spirits.
Well played.
I like that
so,
theory.
So what happened was basically the mosaic didn't keep up with the letters, and for a couple of frames, maybe one frame, you can see the top of the letters that would clearly spell out spirits. That fourth mode, that quarter of the menu, is a mode called spirits.
What does that mean?
Whoa, I haven't heard this.
Yes.
I haven't heard it either.
And so the people theorizing again, they're like, hey, Mario and Mega Man died in that Ridley reveal. Luigi died in that Castlevania reveal. Is this somehow tied in with spirits? That's all we have. I mean, it's just conjecture at this point, Bloodworth.
Right.
Do you think that's what do you envision spirits to be?
I mean, whether it's spirits that or not, I do think the most likely candidate is the adventure mode, story mode, whatever. Because I think that, you know, they had a successful version on Melee. They went all out, but kind of faltered with Brawl, and then they didn't really do anything that significant with the Wii U game, right?
Right.
They did the game board mode.
Right. But
Okay.
no story. No story
Right,
involved.
right.
Yeah.
So I think there's still sort of that hunger and with these cutscenes and stuff that we've seen in the trailers, that to really bring that out, to bring these characters together in fun ways and just have a goofball time with them. And I think it's really like, let's make that happen, and let's also try to make gameplay work with that. And I think they've said a couple of times, talked about bosses.
Yes.
And bosses is an interesting concept for me.
So bosses were in Wii
Yeah.
U, for
Yeah.
sure, but we saw footage of Rathalos in what doesn't look like a Smash Bros. Stage. Just
Yeah.
a big, flat Monster Hunter stage.
Not to mention Dracula, how they introduced Dracula,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
the fact that King K, is it K. Rool? Is that the official like pronunciation?
King K. Rool, yeah.
Rules. Like,
Yeah.
okay. But adding him to the game and really focusing on look at all these other characters that do have their iconic nemesis
Yeah.
included, and so. Yeah, did we add him just because people requested this, or does this line up with
I get what you're
a
saying.
mode that's already available in
What
that?
was she saying, Johns?
I did not especially enjoy playing Subspace Emissary in Brawl, but man, those cutscenes were super fun to watch.
Yeah.
And so I would happily take more of those.
These half-hour advertisements are super fun to watch.
Yes.
I'm riveted. I do, just on a surface level, the lamest thing, but I like the word spirits. I
Oh,
like
yeah,
I got
absolutely.
your story right here.
Huh.
They're all dead, and in the campaign is you reuniting everybody with their body and sending them back. And I wonder if that also ties into where have they been? Like where has Snake been? Where has Pichu been? Like why weren't they in the other games?
because they were dead.
You know? And so I wonder if like the beginning, like the first cutscene, like what if in the first cutscene it's, you know, the classics, Mario, you know, Samus, Link, like they show up and okay, we're here to defeat this boss, and it's this new boss created just for Smash Brothers Ultimate. That boss Dracula wipes everybody out.
Yeah.
You know, and they die, they go into limbo or whatever, and there's Pichu's like, I've been here the whole time. And we know how to get us back, you
Yeah.
know, and so then they have to team up with weird characters and
I feel though, from what we've seen so far, like there's got to be some kind of like dip and back up to the arc where, because we've seen, you know, Mario and Mega Man get taken out, and we saw Luigi get taken out.
Yeah.
So I feel like they won't all be dead at the start. I feel like we're gonna start off and like people are gonna get picked off, and then whoever's left has to, you know.
They're all
Reunite
dead.
everybody, yeah.
You have to start as Pichu.
Yeah, to start
save
as
your
Pichu.
friend.
But they do. One of the other thing you got excited for was the life meter as opposed to the stamina meter or whatever you would call it. The
Percentage,
the
yeah.
percentage, right? So like different terms for success. I wonder it'd be crazy if there was a mode where like once your health bar got taken away, your spirit got knocked out of your body and your body just collapsed wherever that was, and so you have to like get back to it and like get your body back.
Yeah.
Maybe you get like one, kind of like your little saves trying to get back on the platform. You get one last save to like actually get back in the match.
I
Wouldn't
don't.
mind it.
I both absolutely adore and kind of detest this sort of speculation, though.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because your mind runs wild,
It's
and you're
baseless,
like,
yes.
right. And then when it's like, oh, it's a boss rush, that could be fun.
Yeah.
But you're like, it's not spirits.
Right. You don't name a boss rush spirits. That's
Right.
why, like Subspace Emissary is like a name of its own game that's bad.
Right.
Spirits could be its own game, and that's a good title.
Yeah.
I like it.
What if
Excited
it's an
about it.
actual tie-in to the MCU? where all of them can go into the astral form like Doctor Strange, and you can fight in astral form while your body is being operated on by what's her name?
It could be.
Yeah.
That'd be worth it just for the announcer to go astral form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about what happened the day after. We saw our first gameplay ever of Red Dead Redemption 2. Which was cool because, I mean, they just announced it a day prior.
During the direct.
Yes.
You told me.
Yeah.
During the direct live.
Yeah.
It's like, what? What am I doing tomorrow morning?
Really funny because the debut of Red Dead Redemption happened the same day as the debut of the Switch. Those two things were on the same day.
Yeah.
I feel like they're button heads. I feel like those two companies. Jones, what's the headline? What's the headline there?
The headline. Well, first of all, the HUD. I mean, you're looking at mini-map for the first time. You're looking. They've talked a lot about character interaction. So
I'm trying to sell
I'm actually
newspapers,
seeing
and you
those
tell me
things.
the HUD is a net headline.
Well, I mean, what's the takeaway from? I guess Simon and King K. Rool.
I think
but
that is
like,
what you were right in the headline. Yeah.
I mean, the first thing where my eyes and ears perked up when I
Yes.
clicked on that YouTube link was that the video was 5 minutes, and I was like, here we go. Okay, like this is
Substantial.
diving a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
They're going to explain it. Whoever that wonderful lady is who introduced us to all the elements of Grand Theft Auto 5 is back.
Same
And
voice?
she's I'm assuming kind of the same cadence. I don't know if it's the same person.
Yeah.
But to very kind of like one beat after the other explain, and I think there's like a fine line there. I think, and that's what I enjoyed also about the Smash Brothers thing is it's one thing to say, here are the elements we're going to introduce in our game versus here are the elements we're going to introduce in our game. You're like, all right, calm down.
Yeah.
Don't be 100% sure I'm excited. Make me excited. Just give me the information, and then whether I think that's fascinating or not is on me. You don't necessarily need to have the tone of like, you're going to love this.
I would say dispassionate even.
Yeah.
Welcome to the modes of
just
Red
give
Dead
me the
Redemption
info.
2.
Just give me the
Yeah.
And so I like those details. I'm still waiting for. I think everybody's waiting for online. So I think like that was the thing. I was like, are we gonna get into that? But
I think she kind of said it at the end too. So like next time.
not really.
That wasn't one. The online wasn't one of those things.
Deadeye was the last thing they showed. She's like, we're gonna get into combat next time. So we'll see.
and missions.
And missions, yeah.
And
but they,
gangs, right? Gangs?
one of the big takeaways that people saw that I admittedly like. Every time that I talk about Red Dead, there's one or two things after it. I'm like, I was such an idiot. It was right there in front of me, and I didn't notice it. Like, and the big one was, I'm like, well, why is he carrying the gun and he's got his pistol when in Red Dead Redemption you just had any gun on you at all times? And it's like, oh, they're not gonna do that now. Like, you are not gonna have every weapon on you at all times. Because they're like, your horse you'll be able to store weapons on your horse. And I'm like, well, why would I store weapons on my horse if I can access any gun in the game on the weapon wheel in 2 seconds?
Is that a good thing, Jones?
Potentially, a lot of people were really excited about that. A lot of Max Payne 3 fans were coming out of the woodwork because they had that where like Max would have like an assault rifle in one hand and a pistol in the other. The moment that ran out of ammo, screw it, throws it, brings out the assault rifle. So there's like a little bit of that of him having having his revolver and then having like the shotgun or the rifle just in his hand, and
I like that
carrying
a
that
lot.
in. I think it would be fun to make the fights a little more dynamic if there was a lot of like picking up enemy weapons. So you would melee somebody, grab their shotgun, use that until it's empty, throw it, pull out some other gun. Could make you feel
reloading
less
takes time.
because there was a point in Red Dead where like I enjoyed the combat in that game tremendously, but the challenge I think they were really looking at it this time and be like, how can we make this tricky? How can we make you have to adapt to situations and make it feel? Because you look back, it's like some of the best westerns and all those shootouts. Like they never really go. You're never just watching somebody just dominate the whole time. Like there's always some kind of you got to take his guns away or trap him somewhere. And so I wonder if they're trying to get creative and think like, how can we not make you feel like a god throughout the whole game. You're just like, I got Deadeye. What am I afraid of?
Yes.
So, looking forward to that. The horse stuff honestly blew me away. I think that was there's one shot where he kind of does a little side skirt on the horse, and she's like, how did you do that? Like, how are you controlling the horse there, and your treatment of the horse, and the fact that you really have to commit to one. It's not just like, oh, I bought all these like deeds or whatever to all these different horses, and I'll just swap them out whenever I feel like it. So you got to pick a horse, you got to take care of it. The more you take care of it, the better relationship with it you have. It'd be interesting. There was a leading part where you could actually see a button that's like stop leading the horse, where he's like going through the swamp and the horse is just behind him, following him. And so it'd be interesting to see if the more you build up a relationship with the animal, the more you can kind of separate yourself from the animal, and like it'll, like either support you in some weird way or like stay at a distance and then come running in when you need it, or just respond quicker to your commands.
Jones, why didn't Red Dead Redemption 2 go for a half hour?
I just think they're pacing it out. The advertising for Red Dead Redemption 2 has been a little weird. I think they keep kind of reintroducing the same concepts.
Yeah.
And just for me as a hardcore fan, I gotta know how posses work. I gotta know if there's any character swapping from GTA 5. I gotta know what's up with online. So every time they're like, here's specifically how cool horses are. It's like, that's cool. That I wouldn't say raises my anticipation for the game because it's like at maximum right now.
Yeah.
I just really have like one or two questions I need answers, and they just keep kicking that can down the road. Like, we'll get there.
It's going to be next time on the next video. They're going to, and next time we'll talk about online modes.
I think there's going to be some bomb they have yet to drop where people are like, whoa, that's how online works? Whoa.
Do you think one a month until the end, until it comes out?
I would imagine if they said part 1, I can't imagine there's a part 2 and done. I think part 2 is going to be more specifically, what does your quest log look like? What's the difference between main missions and side missions, like you reminded me of, Ben? And how does combat work? And then online is part 3.
Sure.
And that's like right before launch.
I have a question for you. These kind of ads, whether it's these guys or Just Cause 4 did one similar, but for specifically Rockstar, they've done these for a long time, and they feel kind of like stuffy, like uncharacteristic of the games that they're putting out. Like, I think they did these for GTA 5 too, and it's like, these shouldn't really be the ads that you're doing for these games, but they do, and the games still perform and they work. Do you think they're like resting on their laurels with this kind of advertising, where they're just like, we know you love this game, you're in already, here we're just going to explain it to you? Because it seems like incongruous with the style of the game.
It definitely is, but I like that it's not condescending.
Mm-hmm.
It is a direct delivery of facts.
The attitude isn't forceful.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
Like, yeah, and it's just like,
Yeah.
no, here's the game, here's how we're presenting it, and I think the deepness of the experience is something that they've been repeating again and again and again. Like there's and honestly, next to the horse, one of my favorite shots from this last trailer was this woman being like, "You killed my husband." Like, whoa, what happened there? What?
Yeah.
When did I just run that guy over going through a town at high speed, or like was that a part of a side mission, or
That was somebody's
what
wife.
So like it's in Redemption, you could go and rescue people or take out. You could go do a bounty and take somebody out, or you could like bring them back in, and whether you killed them or brought them back into town, that just gave you more money. It would be interesting to see other layers on that, where like maybe they go into jail, maybe they're there the whole game. You can always go back to that jail, and like the guy's there because you brought him in, or he broke out of jail and you got to go get him again. Or if you rescue someone, then that person might want to join your band, or they might help you in another mission down the road, or
All right, Jones.
like a permanence to relationships you build.
If we're going there, I have one demand of this game. If I'm doing horse races, I don't want to see hundreds of people watching. I don't want to see it. It bothers me that there's like 100 spectators of my little horse race that and like, people don't have homes. Where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going
get
after
here?
this horse race?
Yeah.
Hated that. It made me so mad, dude.
I think believability in the environment is paramount.
Yes,
in this
I
game.
think so,
Yeah,
too.
so I would be surprised if.
But I think going back to what Eamon's asking, I think that these specific kinds of trailers are very targeted towards that hardcore audience. They're targeted to the people that want to know the nitty gritty details.
Yeah, you're right.
And then
The
when they
pre-orders.
want to hit the rest of the broader audience with TV spots and stuff, they'll have all the slick cuts. They'll have the right music in there and the right sound ups and everything, and they'll make it really tight.
I do think it is kind of an effective branding tool, though, because I remember watching the reveal, and I scrolled at the comments, and there was a lot of, YouTube comments are not a great signifier of anything, but I did see repeated comments of like, oh man, nobody makes games like Rockstar. Like, this presentation was like a cut above. And so I do think it kind of plays into this mentality of I don't know if professionalism is the right word, but it's like almost like this showroom kind of like, let me reveal my wares to you.
It looks good, right?
Right.
This game looks
right.
good.
And I think that again, I'm not sure if class is the right word, but there's kind of this air about the whole presentation that makes you want to be in awe of it almost. I think because of kind of the tone that they're taking, and I think that is very deliberate and obviously very effective for for Rockstar Games, because I think like Rockstar Games in and of itself like kind of has its own attitude. Like it's not just the games that they're making that have their own tone. Like you kind of expect something out of a Rockstar game. Maybe you know you expect a certain level of humor or a certain level of like world detail. I don't know. It's just kind of its own brand in and of itself.
It's an appropriately named company,
Right.
Because they behave like a Rockstar.
For
Like,
sure.
They'll show up to E3 if they feel like it.
Yeah.
You
They'll
know?
release games when they want to.
Yeah.
They're not making a table tennis game ever again.
They're also not. Yeah, you never know. It'll be a mode in GTA Online. For as much as we've seen of Red Dead Redemption 2, and like it's pretty sizable once you like add. I think it's like 15 minutes now of like footage across like all the trailers. Not really spoilery. There's nothing I've seen where it's like, oh, I wish we hadn't seen that. Like anytime a character jumps in and talks or says something, it's one line, extremely taken out of context. So really hard to. I love the juxtaposition of the blonde guy with the mustache who's like, you know, we got to look out for our brothers, and brothers sometimes make mistakes. And he says that in early. I was like, whoa, this guy's really serious. And then you see him in the last trailer, and he's drunk. He's like, well, say we go steal some horses. And like, cool. It's neat that I'm getting different moments in the story beats from this guy. I can't tell what happened before the other one. I don't know. Like, I don't know how important he is to the story, but it's neat that when we get those little slices of story, they're very small.
Man, I like the camps too. I like this idea. We got a camp
camps,
that's
right.
basically where we go and talk to our crew and get new missions, get side missions, build relationships. It's a cool idea
This lady
to add
just
to it.
feeding chickens. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's feeding chickens. It's like, what a silly thing to be that excited about, but it's the little details.
There were some feeding chickens in Ocarina of Time.
Sure. You could feed cuckoos. I want to talk about another game that I think had its audience in awe. Doom Eternal.
Boy, did it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ben, I'm going to need you to lead this one because I've read about Doom Eternal, but I did not watch this presentation.
The more I think about it, the more I think that Doom Eternal is a really hard game to show off.
Why?
Because Doom 2016 had a story kind of built into it, where it was taking a franchise that had been dormant for a pretty long time, and it was trying to reinterpret it for a modern audience.
Yes.
And it did that while also feeling extremely authentic.
It was like look and listen for 5 seconds and we got it.
Right.
They
right,
did it. They
right.
pulled it off. Yeah.
But they were able to do it without feeling like they tried too hard. It was
Sure.
just like, no, this is... I didn't know what Doom was going to look like in 2016, but the way that you did it feels like the only way to do it. Like, it was just... It felt so right on every level. Like, just the way that it played, the way that they represented those demons, the weapons, the music was goddamn incredible. Like, just everything was so on point. I really am absolutely smitten with that game. And so when you get to Doom Eternal, it's like, you did this so well. You kind of took this sacred cow and did it justice. I just want more of that. And if you make it too weird, I'm going to be bothered because I didn't even get single player DLC, so I just want more. But if it's too similar, does it kind of get buried? Does it kind of just become like, oh yeah, they did it, now they're doing it again, like kind of a Mega Man 10 situation where I think Mega Man 10 is a good game, but it didn't get the attention that Mega Man 9 did because, like, we get it, you did the trick, you brought it back.
Ben, we were actually talking about this last week. It's why I'm nervous for Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if the sequel will kind of fall off because it won't have that same effect.
You saw the same thing happen with Brave the Default and Bravely Second. Like,
what
there
we're
just
talking
was
about,
not the same level of enthusiasm for that game. Not
Yes.
speaking of the quality of the game at all, I just don't feel like it garnered as much, like, media attention.
So how is Doom Eternal going to dodge that?
It did it because, again, they solve problems that you didn't expect them to solve. I'm like, okay, they're going to reveal Doom Eternal. I expect some sweet kills. And boy, were there some sweet kills. But I didn't expect them to be in this space station and have Doom Guy talk to these people and have it actually be funny. It's like, wait a minute. This is pretty clever. I didn't expect you to go up to this guy, take he had this keychain like around his neck, drag him all the way over like very slowly for comedic effect over the door, and then open the door. I didn't expect you to go up to a security guard and be like, and him be like, hey, what are you doing? You can't be here. And then just calmly go and take his gun. Where it's like, wait, this feels perfect, but I wasn't expecting this level of humor in the presentation.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I'm saying is it's like you have this personality, you have this humor, you have like this semblance of story that I'm not sure anybody asked for but is appreciated. And then you have all the juicy bits, right? You have all of the like, oh my God, these environments look amazing. You have the weapons that look incredible. But then you have this is insane, but it's perfect. You have a shotgun hook where you can grapple to different points of the environment, and you immediately think, yes, the great secrets have already gotten even better.
Yeah,
okay?
I read a lot of mobility stuff.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And you have like a dash, right, which wasn't in the first game, but it made so much sense that I was like, wait, wasn't that in the first game? So you have like nice, not obvious, but like not mind-blowing additions, and then you have mind-blowing additions like the hook on the shotgun, and then you have the Doc Brown spider monster,
Oh, what is that?
where you have people invading your game.
Yes.
And you
let's
don't
talk
know
about
what
this
it is.
mode.
We don't know.
Right.
But he collected a life there, and when people invaded, at the top it said lives left. And so I don't know if you have to kind of cash in on this currency in order to engage with the system. I don't know what you get out of it. But here's the perfect storm of Doom Eternal. That's super exciting and awesome, but if it sucks, whatever. I got the whole rest of this beautiful game to play. And I think that's exactly the kind of position you want your game to be in, where you have everything. You have crazy new stuff to really get people excited, but the core bits are so juicy that you're already in regardless.
Yeah, it's nuts to me. We do have a lot of Souls-likes today.
Yeah.
We don't have
Yeah.
a lot of games where you can invade another person's game.
Right.
Right.
It's true. It's one of those things. Is you're saying there's so many things about Souls have been copied, but not really not that very many times.
Yeah, I guess Metal Gear Solid 5 you could say, but like just
Yeah.
it's not like they're in your game. They are playing the enemies, trying to stop you from succeeding in this video
And that
game.
feels
That's so
not
fun.
even like Souls. That's more like perfect dark counter
Yeah, yeah.
operative, you know?
Oh, thanks, Blood.
Counter
Perfect
operative.
dark.
Tell me about this mode.
Yeah, it was that. I mean,
You play as the enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one person, it's split screen. So one person be playing as Joanna Dark and the other person would be playing as enemy. If you shoot them, then they turn into another enemy.
My friend never showed me this mode. That is so cool.
But yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just love these three games. I mean, just like
Yeah.
to wrap up, I can save this comment for the end, just to wrap up talking about these three things. But like, they were all sold so differently.
Yes.
You look at, when we were talking about Smash, I wanted to bring up Red Dead because for me, every little minute of Smash gameplay was conceived, set up, played, captured, and implemented into that video at a very specific spot. They knew before they started rolling on the footage, here's the shot we're getting with these characters to demonstrate this. Where I get the vibe from Red Dead that maybe some of that was just a cutscene that the editor thought was appropriate, this one line. I could see directors coming in and kind of, well, no, let's maybe use this moment to showcase this instead of this. And then you have a moment where Arthur Morgan's like walking into town and it's like, let's swip the camera around and get a little shot of him that you wouldn't see in the actual game.
Yeah.
But just to kind of highlight, make it a little bit more cinematic. And then Doom's like, just let it breathe. Doom's like, just show the game. Let it go and go and go. And so it was neat, like getting on minute 3 of just straight gameplay. And it's like, oh, it's so cool. But like, wouldn't necessarily have sold Smash that well. Wouldn't necessarily have sold Red Dead that well.
Would not have sold Smash
the pace
as well
would have
at
been a
all, yeah.
lot slower in Red
What I
Dead.
think was interesting too with Doom's presentation is they had 3 distinct gameplay presentations there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like very different settings and environments and
Mm-hmm.
mechanics that they showed off. And in between that, they're just like, hey, here's some cool art. Here's our enemy design.
And I was
Here's our guy with
nervous
an
when I
axe
saw
and a
the art.
shotgun.
'Cause
I
that
was like,
normally
ooh,
sucks,
art
right?
at this
Yeah.
point, like art, okay, and then seeing then those characters that they
Right.
introduced in the
Yeah.
game come to life. Like when they showed, here's some art of the cacodemon falling apart, his jaw falling off, and like his head opening up, and bleeding out and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, drawings are fun, and you actually see it in the game, and it was rewarding. They pulled it off.
Right.
Cool.
I do, and maybe this is a silly thing to worry about, so I want to preface it with that, but I do worry about the invasion thing because I kind of feel like playing as the monsters is something where you sit down and you're like, that sounds awesome in paper, but when you really think about it, and especially with what they showed, where it's like, okay, I've got these shoulder weapons now, I've got this knife on my arm, I've got this hook on my shotgun, and I've got these dashes that I can do, and you think about how much the Doom guy can do, and then you go into a monster, and it's like, wow, I'm just so limited. I just want to be the Doom guy. And of course, you can turn off this invasion stuff. You don't have to engage with it, to be fair. But I just wonder, like, from a design perspective, when you have a character that is constantly evolving throughout the entire game, how do you do the monsters? Do they evolve too? Do you change them? Do you get rewarded for being them over time? And so it's just an interesting problem to think about, and I hope it's not the case where it's like, the monster was fun twice, and now I never want to do it again. I just hope it doesn't fall into that camp.
And then how much does it feel right, too?
Right,
You know,
right.
like, you don't want this big, huge thing to just feel like a skin of the Doom guy.
Right, or when you have, like, enemies that can crawl all over the place, and it's like, yeah, you can crawl
Right.
on these very specific glowing points sometimes. It's like, well, okay, but that's not really what the thing does. And I'm not saying they're going to do any of this, but it's just an interesting thing to kind of think through and try to determine how they're going to solve it.
I want to know what kind of people this panel is, though. Because to me, the idea of thinking of a person turning this on and saying, come get me, is absurd. And to me, the
What do you
idea of
mean?
like, oh, I want to go into somebody else's game and ruin their day, that's so much more appealing to me. Like the idea of like turning on invasion mode and saying like, come get me, everyone, I'm going to kill you, is like, to me, like who is that guy?
Kyle, I think the characters that we control in games can kind of change how we approach the games. And
Because Doom Guy would be like that?
Doom Guy is that. Doom
Sure.
Guy is like, absolutely come into my game, I will murder you.
Yeah.
And so I honestly think that attitude, and especially if you think about like the Doom 2016, like, no, I don't need you talking to me, like pushing away the screen, that's kind of appealing to me. Like, I
Cool.
want people to come into my game and we're going to glory kill you. Like, let's do it.
What, are you there too?
Yeah.
Are you an invader or the invadee?
I mean, I think both will be fun for sure.
I think Blood
yeah.
is like a clever invader. Like, he's blending into the environment. He's like, you're definitely going to come to this secret.
Gotcha.
Also worth noting that we were talking about Demon Souls, and like as far as I remember, that's a one-on-one thing. So you would have like
the boss
like,
fight.
One person has entered your game, where we saw two people come in.
Right.
And so I wonder if there's gonna be like a slider where it's like, okay, let people in, but one at a time, like, or you can just be like, hurt me, daddy, bring it.
Don't say hurt me, daddy.
That's the difficulty, isn't it?
That's a difficulty in Doom.
Isn't that the Doom difficulty? Isn't that like the
Yeah.
bottom? It's like hurt me,
No,
daddy.
it is
or
not hurt me,
Yeah,
daddy.
It's hurt me plenty.
Hurt me plenty. Okay.
There's
That's
a
not the
daddy
lowest
one.
one.
There's
Can
That's
I
not the
Play
lowest one.
Daddy is the baby mode.
Oh, okay.
It's called Can
there
I
we
Play
go.
Daddy?
I'm getting them mixed up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
In the worst possible way, though.
Hurt me, daddy. Brandon, if you invade somebody, the first thing that you have to say is hurt
That's
me,
my
daddy.
name. That'll be my gamer tag.
Yeah. Y'all hear that? Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
Oh,
Saved.
that
The
was
following-
the correction.
What?
Do we have that correction in podcast halftime?
What? What? We're rolling right now. What's
I
going
know.
on?
We're scoring.
What about it?
We were a little bit off, but I mean, we didn't have the information. We didn't have all the information. So
Correct.
scoring is still in for the rest of this month.
So that's the
This
official
just
take.
in. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let Brandon get that. So what happened was they let us know that they were saying this is our last month. We're dropping a sponsorship. Thank you. And they give us a little bit behind the scenes stuff that we can't share, but it's all good news. And then after the first came around, they had dropped and they hadn't paid for that spot that they were in. But then after we recorded the podcast last week, that payment for this month went through.
Oh no. Okay, one more month of scoring,
We got one
baby.
more month.
One more month.
The
back,
somber
baby.
tapestries
I'm
keep
really
coming.
savor these. Savor these somber
The
tapestries.
following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of August. Sweet Justice, a sound design company from the southern shores of the UK. They've worked on some of the biggest AAA titles, the most refreshing indie titles, and collaborated with the best development teams in the world. El Thanis. Beaten Down Brian. iKeyless. iKeyless.com is proud to sponsor Easy Allies. If you need a replacement car key or remote, use offer code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 30% off of your order. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Hogue Law brings more than a decade of experience forming and funding companies, negotiating contracts, and everything in between, and is proud to support the Allies. Check them out at hoeglaw.com or on Twitter at Hogue Law. Mango. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure currently in development at Ebb Software, set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. And our mega sponsor, Blue. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Ain't
Next,
it like Scorn? You think Scorn's gone, and then
I know. You got me. Jump scares. Scorn.
My tapestry has been somber.
I know. Finally, we said it right.
Our next segment's called Strictly Business. These are some headlines. They're just video games biz. Not too much to talk about in each case, but I feel like worth bringing up. Sumo Digital has acquired the Chinese room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jones gives me a very confusing face. I had you at Sumo Digital.
For
You're
a
like,
second,
yeah,
I
baby.
thought Sumo Digital was just picked up by Microsoft, but that wasn't one of the companies
That
that
was
they
not
rattled
that,
up.
no.
No, so Chinese room I'm super familiar with. I'm trying to remember who Sumo is.
So Chinese room is Amnesia, Dear Esther, and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. That's basically what they've done. Sumo Digital, they did the Sonic racing games. They're doing Team Sonic Racing.
Oh.
They did
okay.
racing for Infinity
Interesting.
when Infinity had racing in 3.0.
Their only self-published game is Snake Pass. That was their first self-published
Right.
game.
Got it. Okay, got
and
it.
Crackdown 3, they're basically the lead developers of that game currently at
Huh.
this point.
It's a really odd pairing in a way. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
It is basically they had picked up people from other studios that had shut down and things like that. But this is, I think, their first big acquisition. Just like, well, actually, to be fair, Chinese Room announced last year that they had to lay off a bunch of people, and so basically they're allowing this studio to thrive and continue by this acquisition. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. And basically that's it. It's like, yeah, cool.
Chinese rooms, everyone's gone to the Rapture?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's cool to see like that studio. It was such a bummer when they're like, "Hey, we didn't make enough money. We got to shut down." It's like, "No, come on." And so yeah, it's cool to see Sumo Digital pick them up.
That's Jessica Curry's. Yeah, I've always really liked her.
Good scores.
Good score.
Oh, she's
Good
an
scores.
She's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my favorite composer.
And I think Ian, she might still be on as freelance. I think they might still have her for like future projects. And
I remember a few years back, she kind of like took a step out of being as active just because like
Right.
the industry was weird and also some health concerns, I think. But she said that she was still doing scoring and some other consultant stuff. So yeah, hopefully she's still involved because make more music, Jessica.
Yeah, my understanding is she was doing something else, but her like office was still there where it was, but she just wasn't involved in a lot of the day-to-day.
Sumo Digital's pretty huge, by the way. They have 5 studios and I think 500 employees. I read.
Wow.
There's Sumo Digital Nottingham, Sumo Digital Newcastle, Sumo Digital Sheffield, Sumo Digital Pune in India. They have one studio in India.
Could
and
be Pune.
now the Chinese room as well. Crazy.
Yeah.
We might hear a lot more from Sumo Digital in the near future.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. Crystal Dynamics has opened a new studio in Washington, the state of Washington, Bellevue, Washington, to be more specific. That is to work on the Avengers game and more games going forward. But openly, they're like, hey, we're here to support the Avengers game and also work on some new games going forward.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Brandon is hungry.
Yeah, well, I think we all are.
Yeah.
Every single time Square Enix is like, hey, we got a little E3 event.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Marvel's games we have a little event coming up. I wonder if it's another year till we hear about this game. I wonder if it's E3 2019.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is E3.
Well, I
F
just
that.
don't want it to be like Infinity War Part 2 and scene. And then like 6 months later, like, hey, Avengers, you're like, you missed
know,
it.
yeah.
You're like, we're on the new characters now, man.
I hear you, Jones. I think that
Captain America, like,
Do you think that happens though? Don't you think the Avengers are big enough that like you can't miss it too badly?
if it's its own thing, if it's a Spider-Man situation, if it's
Right.
really Square Enix being like, they gave us our own Avengers.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Then,
saying.
oh,
yeah.
sign me up for that.
And they
but
are, yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
it is their own Avengers.
Oh,
yes.
okay. All right.
But
I thought it had to be MCU,
I
but
still think it's there in a way, Jones, where I think there's a zeitgeist for sure, but I think there is certain representations of each superhero that can get boring. I totally hear you on that.
But I think much like Spider-Man, a part of the appeal was not just that, like, oh, hey, it's Spider-Man. It's like, oh my God, like they really nailed Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so if you can make the Avengers feel incredible, I think that's a guaranteed smash.
I think gameplay for me is number one.
Right. Yeah.
You know, the story takes a huge backseat. It's just like if you're putting Iron Man and Hawkeye in the same game, it's like, what are we doing? What's the central control scheme that they're all kind of, using as the core?
Yeah.
Wait,
Who knows?
just theoretically, let's say we can join together as Avengers. Are you picking Hawkeye because you love the bow?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
all right.
Hawkeye? I'm Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
we got a hawk
Well,
down.
then I'm Captain America, baby.
Okay. All right. We got it straightened out.
Never in a million years did I think that Hawkeye would be the hotly contested event.
Blood, who's your pick?
Oh, my pick out of the Avengers?
Yeah.
Uh,
We're getting dibs now. Get your dibs.
Getting those tips.
Get your dibs.
let's go with Hulk.
Whoa, blood dibs Hulk.
Ooh.
Ben, who's your dibs?
I was going to say Iron Man, but I think I'm going to switch it to Thor.
Okay, that's a good dibs.
Yeah, I'm
Ian,
gonna
who's
switch
your
to
dibs?
Thor.
Scarlet Witch, baby.
Nice.
Great. Good
Scarlet
dibs.
Witch is a very good pick.
Yeah, is she frequently in the Avengers? I think she's kind of like an overpowered character.
She's like absurd. Like, if I understand correctly from the comics, which I don't read a lot of,
Yeah.
she's like incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like she can just end it all, end any battle
And
immediately.
stuff gets
just-
like real weird too, I guess.
Didn't
like,
she say no more mutants? Wasn't that her?
Yeah, that's House of M. That's
in,
her.
in one of them, yeah.
Yeah. Exciting though.
That was a big deal.
Patrick Soderlund has left EA.
Yeah.
So you've seen him a lot. If you don't recognize that name, you have seen this person a lot. He was, or still is today, I guess, Chief Design Officer, and he got that title in April, like pretty recently. He's leaving EA, hasn't said why. He's had an interesting career path. Started off as, well, not started off, but when DICE was acquired, he was the CEO of DICE. And then EA was like, hey, DICE, can you put Frostbite across this whole company? And in that process, Patrick Soderlund rose and rose and rose
Yeah.
to great heights, to many, many millions and millions of dollars earned every year. Just one of those kinds of executives. EA had to announce this week, hey, he's gone. Poof.
Yeah.
Can't tell you where, can't tell you why. But
Yeah, I first met him back like in the reveal stage for Need for Speed Shift.
what year is Need for Speed Shift? Is this
Oh, get Ian on that. I don't know for sure. Probably
2012.
What's up?
Was it 2012?
That's my random guess.
No, I think it's Need for Speed Shift release date.
I don't know the difference between them.
I think
like,
Need
which
for
one is
Speed
Shift?
Shift is 2014.
Shift was after like Undercover bombed.
Right.
And they needed to reinvent Need for Speed. And Patrick,
Wait.
2009. So yeah, so it's
Wait,
probably
what was the Need for Speed that was like right at the start of the new consoles?
Is that the
you're
FMV one?
You're thinking of Rivals, but this is way before
I'm thinking
that.
of Rivals. Thank
Yeah.
you. That is what it is.
Well, you know what the weird thing is? Like Shift and Rivals are the exact same subtitle. To me, that's like exact same word. You know?
Got him confused.
Yeah.
I don't see how, but
So anyway, you met him back in 2009. This is probably prior to
before that, yeah.
That's prior to like the acquisition, then, right?
Well, he was definitely part of EA.
Okay.
And he
so
was
he's
actually
so,
so the thing
acquired.
with Soderlund and the direction with Shift and Slightly Mad Studios was, you know, they were trying to bring like respectability back to the brand for Need for Speed, and so
Yes.
they made this more realistic, more simulator. There's a lot of focus on the cockpit view, and a lot of that was his actual like personal feedback for where the direction wanted to go, because he actually race car drives. And like he actually drove cars with like Need for Speed branding and stuff
Cool.
on them, and he's super tall, by the way.
Yep.
And yeah, and so, you know, obviously that didn't pan out, but he's also been involved in like EA original stuff and all of that.
I think it panned out for a moment. I think Need for Speed had a bump
Yeah.
since 2009, but at this moment, not. What do we say in Hollywood?
But I don't think Shift was really. I mean, Shift I think did okay. I don't think Shift 2 was received nearly as well, but people really wanted Need for Speed to go, you know, back to the Hot Pursuit era, and that's where we saw Criterion and all that.
Yes. What's the phrase I was searching for when you have a clout? I guess maybe that is it. Need for Speed doesn't have a clout right now, but
You don't have a clout, you have clout.
No, what's the word? What is? It's not clout. There's like a particularly Hollywood term that I love, and just how like gross it is.
Use it in a sentence. What are you trying to say?
Need for Speed doesn't have a lot of blank right now.
Sway, pull.
Oh, we're getting close. You're so close. But
Swagger.
anyway, swagger's great, but not that word. Anyway,
Buzz.
the news out of this arrangement of him leaving is there's some sort of things that are colliding. That EA is changing a little bit after he leaves. Seed, you remember that word in all caps?
Yeah.
This like discovery term of technology. This whole team is now joining the EA studios, so it's implied perhaps that they'll be directly involved with what EA is doing in gaming. I don't think we've seen any products from Seed yet. It was kind of like announced mysteriously, this strange acronym. EA Originals and EA Partners are becoming one. And you might say,
Okay.
what is the difference between EA Originals and EA Partners?
Yeah, EA Partners is not a name I'm familiar with.
Yeah, let's play a game.
I feel like EA Partners is like an old thing that they haven't done much with lately, but
Very
maybe
true.
I'm wrong.
Give me guess some EA Partners games.
Brutal Legend.
Yeah, nice. That's an EA Partners game.
Ooh,
So
nice.
EA Partners is the third-party studios that EA published.
Yeah.
Shadows of the Damned.
Yeah, Ben's on a roll.
He's
Here we
got
go.
'em.
Yes.
I've got some like weird,
The EA games I was interested in at the time.
some kind of like kung fu ninja game that was on the Wii that they did. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, I did not write that one down.
That was a 7 minute.
Shank.
It didn't.
Shank.
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 Yes.
Shank was Oh man, that's
two
right.
Shanks, right?
Yeah, we
Wasn't
did.
there
We
Shank
did.
two?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we did. Yes,
Only
we did.
saw Shank, so I wonder if Shank 2 is published by someone else.
Possibly, yes.
Syndicate
Right.
was an EA partner.
That was
Got
a
it.
weird game. I liked that game.
And Rock Band. When Rock Band came out, that was EA
EA
Partners.
Partners.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just feels like somebody was just let's merge these into the same
Oh
row
yeah,
in
because
Excel.
I couldn't find anything recently. It looked like 2012 was the last big EA Partners game. EA Originals, I think we can guess all of them actually. There's only 5
Unravel, Fee,
Way Out.
Unravel 2, Way Out.
and upcoming.
The
boat and the,
yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
this.
the
Can we
darkness.
get it? Can we
Yes.
find it?
Oh.
I know I couldn't if you asked me.
Salt and boats.
Is it?
The sun. Something sun?
No?
No. Something. Oh, jeez.
I remember I can
Sea
remember
of
the trailer.
Solitude.
There
Sea
it
of
is.
Solitude.
Sea of Solitude.
Yeah, blood can't. pull it out.
SOS.
Yeah. Okay, so Ian has brought up a list of words that is still not it. It is
Okay.
not influence. It is not prestige. It is not sway. It is not edge. It is not
Oh, man,
leverage.
the
It is not
corrections
pull.
this
It
week.
is not weight. It is a very Hollywood particular term when you say it doesn't have a lot
Stock?
of something like stock, Jones. It's something like this. What the so
hell word is it?
frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just let him go, Ian. Just
Yeah,
let him
just
go.
let me go.
Can I say an unpopular comment about Soderlund? That I respect a man in the work, and I'm glad to hear about him in the history. I will not miss him during EA press conferences.
Yeah,
No
it's
question,
fair.
one of the dullest presenters
You
I've
know
ever
what?
seen in
It's
any
fair.
press conference
What
with
was
any
funny,
company
I
ever.
s-
And I don't know if it's just him or some. I mean, I've attended 2A plays live, and I've just stared into his eyes, and I'm like, he's just not. He just doesn't seem interested in what he's talking about. Like
Yeah.
he's just,
You know what's funny is I saw when I was reading the Kotaku coverage of this, there was somebody in the comments who said they worked at EA, and he was exactly like that when they had meetings that they couldn't
I'm sure.
stand it.
Yeah.
Well, and I
It
think
seemed a real guy,
And I
right?
think
He's being genuine.
again, some people in that situation just kill it in business sense. You know, it's
Yes.
like, I'm sure he has a extremely smart business mind. It has nothing to do with completely separate, qualities of somebody. But it's just like some companies are like, no, we want the executives to be on stage talking about these things, and it's like, I don't know, maybe.
Yes.
It was nice having Andrea there. That's all I got to say. Just liven it up a little bit.
Jones, yeah, it was an uncalled for comment, but not unwarranted in a way. Yeah, it's like I get you. I 100% get you. It is now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
Let's do. This is another. I was just getting into this one. It's kind of interesting to me. I kind of want to talk about this. It's from Leo S. Luna. Love and Respect, by the way, is the segment in which our patrons submit topics to us. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Discord having a digital market for games. They told Variety that they'll even bring 90-day timed exclusive games like Bad North and many more. That means after those 3 months, they'll release the games on other platforms such as GOG, Steam, Nintendo eShop for Switch, and so on. They say they don't want to compete with Steam, but I'm not sure about that. I mean, they promise a curated list of games and consider they already have 150 million users on the app. What do we think about Discord having its own digital marketplace?
There are several video game news stories that you could give me that I would say probably like rank in the top 5. Like, boy, I really don't care about this, but it's for a reason. It's not just apathy for apathy's sake.
I'm always okay with people saying I don't care. Yeah,
the world, my world specifically, does not need another digital marketplace to purchase from which to purchase games.
So that's kind of their pitch, though, Ben. That's the weird thing. If you actually I realize that that is a dull story, and that's why I had to look into it first.
It's always their pitch.
Yes, it is. But their pitch is, hey, we're curating it.
Yeah.
We don't want to have any boring games. We just want to have the cream of the crop on our store.
Okay, but
they won't, right?
What do you mean they won't?
They're gonna have
But
games that don't want to be on Steam first.
Not every game's going to be exclusive. That's not
Okay.
the only thing that's going to be available in their curated store.
But they're not gonna have like the cream of the crop right away, are they? I mean, what kind of
the
big
example
use-
was Hollow Knight. The example they had on their own page was like
Right.
Hollow Knight.
yeah, but
that's
I've already played a lot of Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
A lot of people have already played a lot of Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
You coming out the gate being like, listen, Hollow Knight's a good game, not a super exciting story.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking Discord, right? So I would think that multiplayer games would be important. Do they have Battlefield?
No.
That's what I mean. That's
They're not
what's-
going to like.
That's what's strange. It's like we're
Yeah.
gonna have the cream of the crop, but we're not gonna have Battlefield. Like
Yeah.
what?
That
What are you
wasn't
doing?
their pitch at all, really. It was
Okay.
like, hey, every week there's just a deluge of games. A deluge? Anyway, there's just so many games coming. And so I think it's more about the indie games. I think it is not like, hey, we're going to have the big games.
I want to talk about that
Yeah.
really quickly because that's a story that is written a lot. It's
Yes.
like, wow, there's so much stuff on Steam and so much of it is bad. I don't see almost any of it. Like, there are so many channels now that I feel like people have built their entire careers off being like, hey, here's this hidden gem on Steam. Like, or here's this particular genre of game. Here you can go and find it. Like, it's not hard going to Steam and finding the games that you're interested in and not paying attention to the ones that you don't.
Sure.
A lot of times I'll just go to top sellers and see what's doing really well. Like I
What
feel like
What about the games you don't know you're interested in? How do you discover a game on Steam?
I don't go to marketplaces to discover games.
Yeah.
I go to people who I trust to discover games.
I do agree with Ben, where a lot of times people complain about finding stuff on the eShop or finding stuff on the PlayStation Store or Steam or whatever, and like I just find the game that I want to download. Like, I don't go browsing through these marketplaces ever, so it's kind of a strange thing to me. It's like
I think the only browsing I've ever done on Steam is for VR. It's just because there's,
I hear you.
I'll get in
Yeah.
a VR mood and I'll be like, just something else. Give me something fun. It
Right.
could be really dumb. It doesn't matter. But almost never do I actually
This
pull
is
the
so funny.
trigger.
I love browsing.
yeah.
I love going to the PlayStation store to browse. I love going to the Switch eShop and browsing. I actually really like it. I'm looking at screenshots and watching trailers of games I've never heard of before. I'm into that kind of thing. But I'm so interested in hearing this panel just say nah, dude. Sorry, Discord.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm admittedly in a very different position than a lot of people because I've got my inbox every morning with 30 new emails for
Right.
games that many of them I don't care about. Once in a while, something will catch my eyes, like a Russian Subway dogs or a Gris or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of them is nope, skip, skip.
Because you have to.
Skip, yeah.
There's no way you could pay attention to all of those games.
Right. I think that's the thing. And I do want to bring that up that my situation may not be the same as everyone's situation, where I feel like I have enough games to play to last me 10 lifetimes. And so, if I hear about a game, it's usually this game is so interesting that it's piercing through that wall.
Mhm.
But it's okay, here's all the stuff that I'm excited for. This looks so good that we can add it onto the pile. I find that I tend to enjoy browsing the most for things that like I am casually interested in. Where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm gonna go to the store to look at this specific thing, and I'll enjoy it. Like your own like lack of knowledge kind of makes that process enjoyable because like
Right.
everything is fun to discover.
Yes.
But I feel like when you're so immersed in it and it's your job, that like I do tend to go to these stores for a very specific purpose a lot of the times.
Jones, there's one last feature about the Discord. It's not their personal marketplace. It is this idea. They're big in gaming. I didn't realize Discord's sneakily huge. One feature of launching any game from any service you have is one thing they're really excited about. So if you have a game on Origin, if you have a game on Steam, they're all listed in Discord. Discord's searching for each of these games. It is going to launch Origin or whatever Ubisoft has. It is still going to launch those things, but this organizes your games across all of your
Kinda do that
individual
on
launchers.
Steam too, right? You can put everything into your Steam.
You can
library.
add things into Steam.
Yeah. And I feel like what Discord likes is saying, hey, this is where you communicate, this is where you talk to all your buds, and this is where you can launch all your games.
And that's becoming increasingly true. I mean, it's a valid point. I use Discord all the time, and a lot like I feel like just the adoption of Discord is becoming more prevalent.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like it's on a Twitch arc in a way.
Can't you see Discord becoming a kingmaker for games?
I just, it has to be better than Steam. Like the thing for me is it kind of feels like it's solving a problem that doesn't need to be solved.
Yeah.
Where it's like, cool that I can launch everything in one place, or I can move my mouse like 1 inch over and just click on the Steam window. Like, that's not a hard thing.
Yeah.
I'm not losing sleep being like, oh man, if only I could do this all in Discord. And it just seems like that the kind of thing where you just hype it up, but it's not actually a problem for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I have Discord and Steam open together all the time.
I get that. It's saying like, hey, Discord, this isn't why we like you, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the friend
Right.
who's just like, hey, I got 2 bananas. Like, that's not why I like you, dude.
Right.
It also feels kind of gross because in order to promote their service, they have to talk down to other services. They have to be like, you don't want to open Steam.
Sure.
You know, and you're like, all right. You know, what if people just like, I love Steam. I've been using this forever. And now like, okay, you're trying to convince me to not use something for no reason, like you said, that I didn't ask for. It wasn't like you're not addressing a frustration that I've had. I think the first thing I heard about this, I was like, gosh, I wonder if they would have gotten a little more goodwill or kind of gotten their foot in the door in a lot of people's minds if they had like a game trust approach. If there was just one game that you helped actually make. If you like helped fund, or were like one of the first games we're going to have at launch is a game you can't get anywhere else, and is a game that we actually worked with the publisher to help make happen.
Yeah, so what is Bad North? Does anyone know what that is? That's their version of what you're just talking about, Jones. But yeah, I know nothing about it, to be honest.
But okay, cool. I mean, that now I'm interested. Now I think now I think that you can get some goodwill from really any community if it's like, oh, that game looks interesting.
Yeah.
Whether I'm going to end up playing that game or not, it's like, oh, neat. You gave people jobs. You're
Yeah.
creating new
Right.
opportunities in
Right.
this industry instead of telling me to reject one software for another.
Yeah, I do wonder. I wonder if Discord will become a like a huge gaming company, huge gaming initiative beyond gaming communication as it currently is. But yeah, if I was an indie developer, I would love to have Discord feature my game. Ian has a description of Bad North for us. It is a charming but brutal real-time tactics roguelike. Defend your idyllic island's kingdom against a horde of Viking invaders as you lead the desperate exodus of your people. Command your loyal subjects to full tactical advantage of the unique shape of each island. Coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PS4 summer 2018. But first to Discord. I think Nitro is like basically the store that runs it, but they have their own curated place, their own shop that you can find there. Jones, I don't know if Bad North is that game that you were just describing. Off that description right there, you know what I mean? Like it sounds, yeah, I don't know. That's cool. It's going to help Bad North, absolutely.
It's also going to come out on phones, I guess.
Okay.
Hey, come on everything. Oh, you know what we never talked about? Doom Eternal announcing that 2019 PS4,
yeah.
Xbox One, PC,
Yeah.
but Switch as well. Not necessarily guaranteeing Switch at launch, but saying, hey, this is a Switch game too. presumably developed by Panic Button, who did the Doom Switch port that's already there. Kind of cool. Kind of interesting.
Very cool, yeah.
Not a lot of big games say and Switch. That's pretty rare, actually, so it's kind of interesting.
Real quick,
Yeah.
my thoughts on the Discord thing.
Get on it.
My thing is like, what I want from a communication software is for it to be light and fast and easy to use and in the background.
Correct.
And like the more functionality that we didn't ask for that they add, especially if it's like built into Discord Prime, like if I don't want that, it's just gonna gum up my Discord. You know, like I want to hear someone's voice and never think about it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm using Discord for.
I get what you're saying.
Wait, which is why so many people migrated over to Discord, because it was like,
Right.
oh man,
Because it was simpler.
this is so easy.
and
Yeah.
it worked better.
Yeah,
And I know a lot of people like live in the chat rooms on there and stuff, and like that's totally rad. But like still, it's just it has a function. I don't know. It's weird.
The problem with businesses is someone has to say, yeah, but how do we make more money? You know, they have to expand. That's just what they are. You know what I mean?
Fiduciary duty, man.
Yeah, fiduciary duty. How do we make more money? And yeah, they
How
have
do we
to
get
find
that person?
some
We
way
need
to
one of those.
expand. Yeah, we need to. How do we make more money? But
No, we need a person to answer that question.
yeah, no, we just need someone to come in and ask in an annoying way.
yeah,
But so this is one of those things. They're like, how do we make more money? Okay, like maybe we could have our own store shop, like opened up on this thing. But yeah, I
Coming
get what you're saying.
2020, easy out.
It's not what the appeal of Discord
But
is.
it's like-
CLI store.
But it's like with Twitch, at least it makes a little bit of sense. It's like, here's the game you're watching right now, buy it, and we'll take a cut. But like, this makes very little sense to me.
I really kind of have to commend Twitch purely from a business perspective, because I feel like in recent years they've kind of focused up in extremely smart ways where they make like watching the Overwatch League an event. They've really highlighted clips, but it all feels like things that enhance the streaming idea. Like it
Well,
feels
they've
kind
done
of
their like kind of weird advertising bounties and all of that kind of thing as well.
They have, but like it was like they did some Overwatch thing, and I didn't participate in it, so I'm not as knowledgeable on it as I wish I was. But they're like, hey, if you watch this long, you'll like get this thing.
oh
and-
no.
Yeah, but I'm saying this purely from a business perspective.
Yeah,
It
that's good for business.
and like just the Twitch Prime. Just everything about Twitch Prime feels really smart, where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I would never sub to anybody, but I got this thing for free.
And it sucks to watch commercials. And so like
Yeah.
when you
Right.
come into a stream and there's a commercial, that sucks.
Right, but
Yeah.
it's also investing you further in this thing. You
Yeah.
feel more attached to it, but all of this stuff is kind of centered around streaming. It's not like, hey, open up this store.
Well, and
Yeah.
also, like, I don't envy Discord because, or service-based companies like that where it's free to the end user by and large.
Yeah.
And, like, you have to make it good and not littered with ads to come out and be competitive. And it's like, yeah, how do you turn that around and monetize it? I don't
150
know.
million users? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
and it's like, how do we monetize this? How do we make a
Right.
penny off these people? We'd be filthy rich.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I don't envy that.
Good
and
luck
like
to
maybe
Discord.
there's some angle that a store makes sense that I'm just not seeing. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But also, they're reading all those messages. Don't worry about it. Like they're
Mining for information.
yeah, they got a lot of data. I have to assume that's their angle of behind it.
Devos.
Yeah. I want to play a game that is more of one of our more popular games that we've ever played. Pokedex or Real Animal. This is so fun. Yes.
I like this one.
Tanner Methvin has brought us more. Has more of the same game, and you know what? I'm willing to play more of the same game.
My hometown was called Meth Heaven.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good joke. I like it. So okay, yeah. Basically, that's the premise. I'll skip most of those things. If you haven't played this game, were you either of you here for the
I
first
was
time we
here.
played this? Okay, Blood
No,
was.
but I feel like I get it.
You absolutely. Okay. Sometimes they drink so much blood they can't fly anymore. Then they fall to the ground and become food for others.
Real.
Real Animal.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon.
Oh, damn it.
Sounds real. Sounds pretty real. That's Golbat. Golbat drinks
Oh,
too
nice.
much blood. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a bat, though. I was close.
Yeah, you
Well,
were.
when it-
Yeah,
A
exactly.
good reminder of how just vicious Pokedex entries could be. Okay.
Yeah. Drinks too much blood, it just becomes food for more Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah, it was when it just becomes food. It's like, well, that doesn't sound right.
That's
Yeah.
the trick. That's the trick
Yeah.
of this game.
Well done, Butterworth.
Also, wait, does that confirm that Pokemon eat each other?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
They do horrible things to each other.
Oh, they're
my.
like, yeah. I
and
remember,
also like weirdly horrible things to children all the time. Yeah.
I remember hearing that some eat the eggs of other Pokemon. And stuff.
yeah.
I remember hearing that,
Good memory, Jones.
reading it.
Pokemon's messed up.
Yep.
They are very protective by nature and honk at an intimidating volume. Some countries even use them to guard police stations instead of dogs.
Real. Geese.
Real.
Yeah, that is geese. Well done, Ian. Dogs was a giveaway. Dogs are almost never mentioned in any Pokedex entry.
Sure.
You know what the giveaway was for me? The word countries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, John.
that
Dead
country,
giveaway.
exactly. that
Again,
was it for
countries
me.
existing is a rare thing. In
I had it
Pokemon.
at loud honk.
Yeah.
I was like, that's geese. Those things are terrifying.
But you know, we got to start easy. We got to start easy. Its tongue contains flexible bones, so it will wrap its tongue around its cranium to protect itself from damage.
Oh.
This is a Pokemon.
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 I hope
You
it's
wish
real.
it's
I
real.
know.
What?
Yes.
Woodpeckers.
Oh,
What?
Can you believe what?
Woodpeckers are Greninja?
What?
Yes. They have bones in their tongues, and when they're falling, they wrap their tongue around their skull.
This was something where I was like, I'm sure I've read that in a Pokemon
I know.
entry.
What kind of woodpecker?
I don't
It's
know.
got to be a very specific woodpecker.
When you start googling woodpecker, tongue autofills after it.
No way. I
Yeah.
guess this is a fact that blows a lot of people
This is
away.
making me feel less comfortable about existing in this
Oh,
world.
it's so long.
For woodpeckers?
Ah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right.
Everyone at home, Google it. It has been known to become so angry that it dies as a result.
That's a Pokemon.
Real.
God,
Real.
I hope it's real.
I need more guesses. That is a Pokemon.
Oh.
Primeape.
Yeah.
Primeape becomes so mad it just
Yeah.
dies.
That's a Pokemon.
What kind of maniac do you have to be to write that for a kid's game? Why do you do that?
Somebody that's crunching on a game.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I gotta write 700 of these.
It gets so mad that it dies. There. Done.
Just like me.
Let me sleep.
Because that is its Pokemon Sun entry. It's like, what more can I say about Primeape?
Right.
What do you want from me? Yeah, that's so funny. It always runs full speed and only in straight lines. It is very challenged by gently curving roads.
Real.
Pokemon.
Real.
Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon.
Ah.
That's Lanoon, a very unpopular Pokemon. Lanoon sucks. Lanoon is a bad Pokemon.
I don't. Who is Lanoon?
Don't at me. Lanoon is it's basically it's a mammal that's basically, I don't even know what to compare it to, like a gentle badger. It's just a long.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a very boring Pokemon.
It's just a gentle badger. Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
What generation is that?
White and brown. That is, I think Lanoon is before Black and White. That's my
Okay,
guess. I
so
think it's Diamond and Pearl. I think
Okay,
it's Diamond
okay.
and Pearl.
It's not from
I've not.
Sun
I've
and
not.
Moon?
I've like
It is
no
not from
experience
Sun
with
and
Diamond.
I
and
should
Pearl.
have known with the emphasis
Generation
on roads.
3, is that?
The mention of roads.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
where
a
I
There's a
was like-
problem with
Yeah.
roads. You know, roads
Yeah,
are much more
what
prevalent in
animal would
Pokemon games
be
than they
too
are in
worried
the
about
real world.
words?
We're not keeping score, are we?
No.
Okay.
Despite
funsies.
spending their entire life in the water, though Ben, I do think you are winning, they are notoriously
so. I
bad
hope so.
swimmers. They have been known to perish from exhaustion during stormy weather.
Real.
Real.
Can you read it one more time? Is that unfair?
No, it's an interesting fact. Despite spending their entire life in the water, they are notoriously bad swimmers. They have been known to perish from exhaustion during stormy weather.
I think it's real. My guess is a seal.
I
My
also.
guess is a
I
toad.
also think it's real.
I want to hear more. It is real, but I want to hear more guesses of what this animal is.
Or a sea lion.
Of some kind of frog? Like a smaller
I'm
animal?
thinking a toad mostly.
I don't know if you're gonna guess it. Seahorse.
That popped in the brain.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Yeah,
why
just
would it be a
kinda-
seahorse? That's why I countered that.
Seahorses have weak little dumb little flippers,
Tiny
right?
little
They have
wings.
crazy bodies and like just little flippers on the sides, and they just die. Just like, oh, sorry, the water's too rough. I'm an aquatic animal, but I'm gonna just die here. That's so nuts.
This is like my favorite segment for any podcast ever.
It's
I know.
I
really
love
fun.
really,
this.
really good.
It has impressive muscles, which it shows off to potential mates by flexing like humans, emphasizing the biceps in particular. However, it cannot move its legs independent of one another on land or move backwards.
Pokemon.
Kangaroo.
I was gonna guess like Machoke.
Gotta give it to Ian. That's kangaroo. I'm gonna. If you peg it immediately, that's it. Yes.
well done, Ian.
Wow.
Kangaroos showing off their muscles.
Yeah.
There's some
Flexing it like
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah, you're right. There's,
Yeah.
I've seen
I've
some
seen
kangaroos.
it.
I
Yeah.
thought it was like a
Some
Machoke
flexing,
until you were talking
smoking
about
flexing.
the movement.
And funny,
part.
they can't walk. They have to they basically have to
Yeah.
hop.
Well done, Ian. That was
I
impressive.
didn't know that. I didn't know they literally can't walk. I thought they just preferred to hop. That's nuts.
Despite their ferocious appearance, they can't roar, but chirp like birds instead. Additionally, they are quite anxious to the point where caretakers often provide them with support animals.
Oh, this has to
Real.
be real.
Real, yeah. Oh dear. The silence.
I'm gonna guess Pokemon.
It's real,
Okay.
but I don't think you'll ever guess what this animal is.
Sloth. Panda.
No. Despite their ferocious appearance,
Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking some kind of a cat.
it is. It's a cheetah.
Oh,
Oh.
Cheetahs can't roar. They just chirp like birds. No. I feel like positive I've seen a cheetah roar.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you've watched like a lot of nature documentaries
Yes.
where they put them in slow motion, but there's somebody narrating over them.
Yeah.
So you have the roar in your head, but it's just a chirp.
Have you never heard cat do that?
No.
Oh yeah.
I've heard many cats make
your
many
cats ever
noises.
done that?
Chirping, no.
Oh, West
They're looking out
only
the window?
chirps.
Make
yeah,
the noise.
he only chirps.
Make the noise.
It's like it's funny because veterinarians or just animal doctors and researchers like aren't 100% sure why they do it. My thing is they're simulating the biting thing. So if you see like a cat looking out the window and it sees a bird, it's like
It's like this? Is it this noise Ian's playing for us right now?
That's a
No.
cheetah.
oh, that's a cheetah.
That's a bird.
That's
a cheetah.
nuts.
I'm watching.
My
it
semblance of reality can only take so much.
That
So
is
it could be
nuts.
that it's like it wants to bite on something, or maybe it's some kind of attempt at a call to like get birds or small animals to get closer to them.
I think it's
like
cute
it's
they
just
like
laying
support
there.
animals. I think it's cute that cheetahs need support animals as well.
Cheetah with a little monkey.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Dang.
Their skin is so thin that they will be burned if sunlight hits them. When it gets cold out, they gather together to warm one another's bodies.
Pokemon.
It is. You said that so
Pokemon,
confidently. Do you know what
When
it
you
is?
said their skin, I just was like, okay, here we go.
Really? That was
yeah,
what
for
took
some
that?
reason, I don't know why.
I don't think you could guess. It's Zubat.
I was gonna.
Were you gonna guess Zubat?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I swear to you, I
I'm
was.
so sorry, dude.
It's like this. Like the second or third time, where I was like, oh yeah, no, I was really gonna say Zubat.
Dang.
Yeah.
Shout him out, Ben. Believe in yourself.
Okay, all right, we just gotta be more confident. But when I'm confident, I'm wrong. That's why. That's where the unconfidence.
That's the human condition, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite its intimidating fangs, it lacks the ability to create poison. So it eats poisonous frogs and stores their toxins in its neck.
Real.
Real.
Yeah, that's good. That's real. That's a snake. It's obviously a snake.
Yeah.
The type is a tiger keelback.
Tiger.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an Asian snake, apparently, in parentheses.
Nope.
It produces approximately 10 gallons of saliva per day.
Yummy.
Great.
Pokemon.
I want that to
Is
be
that a
real,
new-
but-
Oh, that's a new
That's
one.
a new one?
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry,
Just that
that's a new
sentence?
fact. Yes, it
Yeah,
produces approximately 10
that's
gallons.
a
Of,
Pokemon.
No, that's real.
what was your guess, Ian?
I want it to be real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Wow.
What animal produces 10 gallons of saliva?
Okay, let's think.
A hippo?
A hippopotamus?
Oh,
yeah.
I love that guess.
That is a very good guess.
It's not a hippo.
A bison.
No, it's an
No.
animal we like. We really like this animal.
We really like this animal.
Yeah.
Chicken.
We got to bond with this
A
animal
Saint
to raise
Bernard.
its stats.
Oh, just dogs?
Yeah.
No, it's like
Elephant?
we can go to this animal to carry our weapons for us.
Horse.
Elephants?
Horse, yeah.
Oh, horse.
10 gallons?
10 gallons.
10 gallons. You gross horse.
Wow,
Stop
that 10 gallons is a lot.
That's a lot.
And when you think of like horses, they do just have like wet mouths.
I wonder
Well,
if Don
camels
knows
would have
that.
been another
I
good
wanna,
guess.
I want to ask Don.
Camels spit a lot. And
Oh,
if he
yeah,
knows
camel.
that.
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows his horse facts.
Oh, okay.
Don knows.
Its dung is an explosive substance and can be put to various uses.
Real.
Pokemon.
Real.
A real Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon.
That's a Pokemon.
With using the word dung.
Yes.
Explosive dung. Come on.
And Turtonator, I don't know if you've seen him. Turtonator he's got a big red shell and he's always looking behind his back. That big dumb turtle dragon has explosive dung.
But it's like a pyro situation where like he can't light it himself, you know, with his
And
powers.
he's so smug.
You need
He's so
to-
smug. He
you need
can't.
to- you need to be there
Right.
with the.
Somebody took
Flamethrower.
Turtonator's dung and said, "Man, we gotta try. We gotta try." I want to take one more comment, which is just.
Wait,
a
we're
fun story.
done?
Yeah, that's it. That was the end of the game.
Good game.
Love that game.
That game is amazing.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
extremely fun.
I don't know how long ago it was we played that. It might just be a month, but like.
It was not long ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. I want to space. I want to play it like every 2 months. I want to come back. To
I
that
could have
game.
done like 50 more of those. That's so
Yeah.
much fun.
I love that game. All right.
And 10 gallons?
10 gallons. You
All right.
gross horse. Love and respect. I've got a story and a question. During my time in college, our campus hosted a GoldenEye 64 tournament. While I loved playing GoldenEye 64 as a kid, I often played the multiplayer against myself, plugging in extra controllers, staging the characters in different spots, and then practicing running around corners and shooting at my target dummies. The first round of this tournament was a 4-person free-for-all with automatics on stack. Jones, which one is stack?
I believe that's the library downstairs. I think it's the basement
Oh, okay.
of
All
the
right.
library. The library has 2 floors, and then there's other quote unquote maps that it's just the
That's
basement or the top floor. I think
Gives
it's
me a
the
frame of
basement.
reference for this. I appreciate that. The
A lot of
round
columns.
was over so fast. The top player had more than double my score, but I was able to tie for second place. The judges hadn't planned for this, and while they were debating what to do, I went over to my friends and I told them I was planning to drop out. I simply didn't feel great about my performance and felt that it wouldn't matter. We have some facts from Ian. It is the upper level of the library.
Which makes sense. Stacks of books.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. My friends gave me a great pep talk. They told me to stick with it, that I was doing great damage, and that my kills were simply being picked off. The judges ruled that I would get to proceed in the tournament, and I wasn't killed in any of the remaining rounds.
Wow.
Went through unkilled. The remaining rounds were on larger maps where the auto aim feature could no longer interfere with my aim. In GoldenEye, the auto aim feature pulls your cursor to the chest, where you do less damage. Auto aim is only active when you're a certain number of pixels away from another character. In the larger maps, I could keep a large distance from other players. No auto aim pains for me. No auto aim help for them. The final match was Temple with the golden gun. Once I ripped the golden gun from my opponent's cold, dead fingers, I was able to simply snipe him from across the map for some very satisfactory kills. I'm so grateful for my friends' support. Had they not voiced their support, I would have never stayed in the tournament. Can you share a time when you've supported a friend or received support from a friend to overcome a hurdle in a video game? Thank you so much for all you do. Love and respect, Super Dead Fish. I don't know if we have any stories that grand. Obviously, I picked it because that's just a fun, very particular story.
I have a simple story.
Sure.
Yeah, I got one.
So I am both extremely competitive and hate competition.
Okay.
Like, I like challenging myself against other people, but when a bunch of others are watching, I just psych myself out. And I was really into Hearthstone for a very long time, as many people know. And I was trying to stream me getting to Legend because I was like I don't even remember what I was. I was like rank 3 or 2 or something. I was like, I'm going to stream myself getting to Legend. And it was a long stream and I was losing my mind. And everybody else, I think, had left. Huber comes back to the office.
I remember the stream. Yes.
Huber came back to the office to offer support.
Yeah.
And I honestly felt like I was going insane, and it meant the world to me.
And it was like 2 a.m. he came to the office?
I don't remember the time.
Yes.
A lot of this is very fuzzy.
Yes.
But what I do remember is that he came back and sat there with me. And, like, you know, Huber and I are pretty close friends, and we can joke around with each other and we can rib each other. But, like, there was none of that. It was just, like, 100% pure support. There was
Yeah.
no joking around. He was just being, like, an incredibly nice guy. And, like, from that moment, I was like, I would take a bullet for Huber. I'd do it.
Yeah.
Like, it just really showed me the quality of his character.
He's a good guy.
He's a very good guy. Yes.
Jones, what's your story?
One of my favorite gaming memories of all time was a 8v8 Halo tournament that I had with some friends of mine, where we set up LAN on 2 completely separate sides of a house.
Yes.
So when scores were made, you could hear, just like a little
8v8?
bit of cheer. Yeah, you could hear just like a little bit of cheering from like the other part of the
Are we
house.
talking 4 Xboxes then? So everybody's on 4 screens?
Correct.
Four
2
4
Xboxes
boxes
versus
in
2
one
Xboxes.
screen. Okay.
And we were gonna do 3 maps. It was Hang 'em High, then Blood Gulch, then Sidewinder. And
Which one's Sidewinder?
Sidewinder's the horseshoe snow level.
Oh, I love that level.
Yeah, it's really great, especially the original form of it. And I remember going into it, my buddy Jeff, who I co-founded GT with, not for you, for the viewers at home, in
Yes.
case you don't know who Jeff is, was the other. I was team leader of my team, and he was team leader of the other team. And I believe we were the Rebellion versus the Empire. And
That's so dorky,
And
dude. I love
everything
that.
about this heavily dorky. And before we went in, he said, "Yeah, we can talk about who's winning because it's best 2 out of 3." And he's like,
Yeah.
"We can talk about who's going to win what or anything, but it all comes down to Sidewinder." He was a broken record about this again and again and again.
Yeah.
Kept mentioning Sidewinder. Doesn't matter who wins what. It all comes down to Sidewinder. We get annihilated on Hang 'em High. I mean, it is bloody. It is brutal.
Yeah.
Like my team's just scattered all over the place. They don't know what's going on. Blood Gulch starts as very bad, and then at one point we're just like, all right, and we lock down and we stop the slaughter for a bit, but then eventually just attrition. They beat us back to our base and take us out. So we go into Sidewinder. We've already lost, and so they're just like, let's just do Sidewinder for fun, but we already know who the champs are, and we take Sidewinder. And the thing that was really great about it was the mistake I made was I taught everybody on my team the same way. And there were definitely people on my team that were very familiar with Halo and people on my team who were not. And so I remember like those people who weren't good at it or people that were better, like we just huddled. And I remember everybody was like, all right, let's just completely change our strategies. And let's not like try to examine every situation. Who are our best players? It's you and Nathan. The 2 of you just get that flag. And everything was CTF. So it's like, just get that flag. Just do that run.
Is
every
this
single
you
time.
being the team leader? You're laying out these plans?
No, because I laid out the plans for the first 2 rounds.
Oh,
It
okay.
was bad.
So
bad
you lost
planning.
your leadership role. Okay.
And so we all just kind of got together. We had one guy on our
Look at
team, Kevin, who's just not very good. So we just gave him a pistol. And we're like, you just stand by the flag. If anyone, even if they're on our team, comes through this hallway, just start firing like crazy.
Kevin.
And so we gave everybody really realistic goals. And we took Winder. And I just remember like, they were really happy. And they're like, well, we won. And I'm like, yes, but if you remember ad nauseum, you were repeating. It all came down to Winder.
And it was capture the flag,
we
too?
took Winder, yeah.
I love that, dude.
And I felt so good.
Where does the support come in that?
Just that the team didn't give up. That we didn't go
Yes.
into Winder and
Okay,
everyone was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
well, like all of them had their idea. Like, it was almost like they were more invigorated by those 2 losses going into that 3rd one. And supporting me as a team captain who clearly failed like miserably.
Yeah. Nice.
in giving the people on the team the right roles, understanding their skill level and giving them the appropriate thing to do. I strategized it too much.
Gotta
They
stick
didn't
with the
understand what I was
captain,
talking about most of the time.
Rebellion versus Empire. Why did you put that layer on top of 2 Spartan armies facing off each other?
Because we're just big Star Wars nerds.
All right. Okay.
I once had a friend who was going through a really hard time, and we were all living in Chicago, and he lived by himself, but he was having a hard time, and so basically he just like lived on my couch for a long time, and he would play Battlefield 1943, Battlefield 1943, yeah. And he played it so much that he platinumed it on my PlayStation 3. But yeah, just because he would come and just play that game all the time, just to keep his mind off everything, I guess.
And you were encouraging.
Yeah. I mean, I gave him, he was at my house for like weeks. But yeah, he platinumed a game on my PS3 that I was bad at.
Before corrections, I do know that game did not have a platinum trophy, but you could 100% it. We get it. Time for bets.
Wait, what?
You can't platinum that game.
You can't?
No, you can 100% it, but
I guess he like 100%ed everything.
Yeah.
he made then,
Shenmue 1 and 2 will be released Tuesday, August 21st. This is crazy. Shenmue 1 and 2 are actually going to be a game that you can just play. That's
So
nuts.
good.
What will the download size be? I should specify on PS4. Should we do PS4 or PC? I guess it doesn't matter.
What?
PC? Let's
We
do
should say specifically.
You wanna do
Yeah,
PC?
we should say.
Huh?
Let's do PS4 because it's easy to check. And it's
PS4.
Like one. It's 1. It's right there. Okay. What is it going to be on PS4?
18 gigs.
Okay. Ben.
This was tough. 14 gigs.
Daniel Bloodworth.
I'm really close to Brandon. 17.3
The
gigs.
0.3. Love it.
We're in a ballpark here. I'm 12.2 gigs. Ian, your guess.
I think it's an older game. 23 gigs.
Ooh.
That's a lot, though. That's huge.
Lots of videos, lots of.
Oh, I get what you're
lots of
saying. Uncompressed
things you can't
video.
But
compress.
the size is so good for a remaster.
That
Yeah.
hidden
Just how do
Shenmue
you-
3
Yeah.
demo.
Two different games. Let me lock that in. Last week's bet was about We Happy Few, which released on Friday, August 10th. We bet about how many grins would appear on the back of the box.
And I love you checking in with Dawn before.
It's hard.
I
It's
just
never
heard
easy.
some mumbling, and it's like, oh, I don't want to be a part of that conversation.
Not a grin. Jones, you bet 3. Brad bet 3. Huber bet 2. I bet 3. Ian bet 4. And as Jones just said, it wasn't easy. Thank you to everybody who tweets these to us. I think in the future, you have to like tweet separate photos of like different parts of the box because there's lots of gray areas. There's lots of I have to talk to Don and say, does this count as a grin? Does that count as a grin?
Just because, like, if you get the whole box, the picture's so small, like, you
Yes.
can't really see it. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. There are at least 4 grins on this box. Between 4 and 6, we're giving it to Ian.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one?
Yes.
Whoa!
So that brings the
Okay.
scores to Red Grouse 11, Gorgeous Gorilla 16,
Ooh.
very good unison, Droopy Eagles 9, and Switcher Snake 6.
That was the most conservative gorgeous girl I've ever heard in the history of gorgeous
Yeah.
gorillas.
But it was in line. It was
Yeah,
really in
yeah,
line.
yeah,
I
they
really
were-
like that.
Didn't
I know they're
embellish. I
gorgeous.
appreciate it.
Like a GQ gorilla. You
Yeah,
know?
they know it.
Just came out, man.
We got to talk about patreon.com/Easy Allies. This is how the Easy Allies are funded. We are a crowd-funded group of content creators. And so, yeah, it's not just this podcast. It is many reviews, live streams, previews, cool shows, like just that aren't about anything, you know, just that are about our us just talking about things we're passionate about.
It's a channel about nothing.
Yeah, you know, it's how crowdfunding works, you know? It's like it's a blast. I don't know where I'm going with that. If you're in the $5 and up tier, you get this podcast 2 days early to watch or listen to. It is now time to see if Steve Phillips will survive.
Oh.
Slytherin Steve Phillips.
Slytherin Steve Phillips. He lived!
Yes!
He lived!
That's 2!
What the?
Well, last one was our enemy. Steve Phillips is actually the first party member
Yes.
who lived through an
Correct.
episode and is now
Correct.
permanently in our party.
Nice.
That's what happens when you believe in something.
That's really nice. So now we have a snake with human arms. Jones might want to chop those arms off. I'm not clear about what he meant
just
there.
We're not gonna let him. We're not
Just
gonna
want
let him
to float
Steve.
it out there.
Hey, Steve.
I mean,
What if
you know,
you didn't
you're
have your
thinking of
arms?
chopping them off. I mean, it could be like, you know, rehabilitative surgery. So, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
No.
I say we graft some legs on him, turn him into a lizard.
Here we go. We're gonna need more party members who can maybe facilitate that.
We need some
The
kind of
next
like
one creates
freaky
legs.
doctor. Yeah.
So this is Artemis the Leg Master. It's
But what if Artemis becomes our enemy? Like, Ian, you've won the right and responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video or perhaps event that you would like to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, or you can change anything in the desire index. And you can just sign off with your trademark sign off.
The desire index is so jacked. I don't even remember it. And I can't get Kingdom Hearts out of there, right?
You can. I think it's out of the top 3. No, it is. Sorry, Kingdom Hearts is number 3 right now.
All right. Well, my Twitter handle is @IanHink, HNCK. Video I would promote is this weekend, happening right now if it's Friday, or happening in a day or two if you are a Patreon subscriber and got this early. Easy Living is happening. It's our 50-hour live stream, and also like sub pitch. Ian and Don Hit the Beach episode of Easy Update will be in there too.
One of the best.
Well, yeah, out of control. This one's something special. I got a couple of special things planned. Put Sekiro at number 4.
Oh, okay, sure. It was at 8, So Sekiro is now moving to number 4, bumping Red Dead Redemption 2 to number 5.
What?
Wow.
Red Dead's not in top 3? Who are you
What?
people?
Where's Devil May Cry 5?
Oh, Ben, it's down to 11,
bumped
man.
into 11
I
somehow.
think this is not.
You didn't get the final word.
Good night and good game.
What do you mean you let him out? Turned out to be a koala.